everybody, today's video is going to be another product trials, and this time I am giving the CoverGirl Ready Set Gorgeous foundation a go. I have heard a lot of good reviews about this, so I'm very excited. I have a busy day today. I am out and about shopping for a lot of the day, and then I also have a dinner to go to tonight, so this foundation is going to be put through its paces. As a quick disclaimer that I put into all of my product trial videos, whenever I'm testing out a foundation, I treat it like I would every single day, regardless of whether I am reviewing it or not. So I have already primed my face, and I will set the foundation down with powder, and I will also spray my face with finishing spray at the end, just because those are that's my normal routine that I do with my foundation any day anyway, and it gives the foundation the best opportunity to perform. I picked up mine in the shade 115, and it says Fresh Complexion Oil-Free Foundation. So let's give it a go. Now, when applying foundation for my product trials, I always apply one half with a damp sponge and the other half with a brush of some sort. So let's just go straight in. I will do the side with the brush first. I'm just going to pop the foundation out on the back of my hand. There is a safety seal. So it's thick, but it is not as thick as some other foundations. It still is fairly movable, which is good. I'm just going to pick this up on my brush, and then I'm just going to dot it on first. There is one half of my face done with the brush, and that was one square, as you saw. It is not full coverage with the brush or with just one layer. I would say this is actually quite a light medium coverage. So I'm going to try the other side straight away with a sponge, and I'll just see if that maybe gives more coverage. So I'm just going to do the same thing. Okay, so that is now one layer on both sides, and I still have product left on the back of my hand from the sponge. So I think the sponge is a much better way to apply this foundation. I think my brush just sucked up a little bit too much of the product and didn't really get the chance to allow the coverage to build, because the coverage on this side of my face is far better than the coverage on that side. So I'm just going to quickly even it out. Okay, so now that's evened out both sides of my face. That actually is pretty good coverage, and that's technically really with, well, I guess this side sort of has two layers, but I actually think the finish of this foundation is really quite nice. It feels really light on the skin. It doesn't feel like it's heavy or thick at all, and I think it actually is quite nice. It's definitely a matte finish. There is not a lot of shine on my face at all, but having said that, I think my skin still looks quite glowy and nice. I think the foundation shade is a fairly decent match for me. So that being said, I think I'm going to go ahead and do the rest of my makeup, and I will be back. Okay, and I am back with the rest of my face done. So the rest of my products applied on top of that foundation, really smooth. I didn't have any problems. It didn't catch on anything. It didn't cling to anything. It hasn't made my highlight or blush come out with a funny texture or anything like that. It has set down completely to my skin and it doesn't feel like it is going to move. I did set it as well as I said, and I also powdered as you saw, so it has been given the best opportunity to perform the best way that it possibly can. As I said at the beginning of the video today, I am out and about. I have a dinner to go to tonight and I am shopping throughout the day, so this foundation is going to be put through its paces. So at some point, more likely at the end of the night, once I have done everything, I will come back and let you know how the foundation is going. As usual during these, I don't touch it up throughout the day. I don't try to affect how the foundation performs in any way. I won't be overly touching my face on purpose, or I won't be trying to touch it up, or I won't be blotting or doing any of that sort of stuff. So it is a true test to see how this foundation performs with the help of the products that I have given it. So I will see you soon. So it is the end of the night now. I have had this foundation on for over 12 hours. I think it's been around about the 13 and a half hour mark. So it has been on my skin for a very long time. I have been trying on clothes, I have been shopping, I have been crying through this foundation, I have been laughing in this foundation, and I have slept my way through a pad thai with this foundation on. And to be honest, it is doing really well for 13 hours. I have not touched up my face at all throughout the day. The only thing that I have touched up is my lipstick and a little bit with my eyeliner, and that is all. I have not touched up my face at all. So this is 13 hours of wear with all of those activities, and I think it looks pretty good. So the only thing I can definitely notice is that it has worn off on my nose quite a bit where I was wearing sunglasses. So the nose pads there, and a couple of lines on my face where the sunglasses were sitting on my cheeks, and it has patched off a tiny bit here on my nose and a little bit around my mouth where I've been eating. But apart from that, I still think everything else on my face looks really quite good, and it has not patched up or sort of glugged up anywhere on my forehead. I obviously am a little bit shiny, but as I said, for 13 hours I'm not going to complain. So what I'm going to do is put a blotting sheet over my face now to see if any of the foundation will transfer off. And then I am going to try and put some Stay Matte powder over my face as well, just to see how this foundation sort of handles a bit of a powdered touch-up and if it looks even better. So I will do the blotting sheets now. Okay, so you can maybe hopefully sort of see there that a bit of the foundation has come off onto the blotting sheet. I'll do the rest of my face and just around my nose and my chin. Yeah, so a little bit of foundation has come off with the blotting sheet, but nothing that bad. And now I'll quickly do a little bit of powder. So I think the powder works quite well over the top of this foundation. As I said, it has definitely worn off on my nose, particularly here and a little bit there. And, you know, that's sort of to be expected. There's a bit of it wearing off just here on my cheek where my sunglasses pad, like my sunglass rims were resting. But for 13 hours, I don't think this is that bad. If I was wearing this on a normal everyday, I probably would have touched it up throughout the day with a little bit of my MAC powder, or even my Bourjois Healthy Mix powder that's in my handbag as well. So I probably would have touched it up under normal circumstances. As I said, I was crying at some points today, so that's why it has broken up a little bit underneath my eyes, and my mascara is a little bit darker, and maybe there's like a tiny tear track through a little bit of it, but I actually don't think it looks that bad. For 13 and a half, almost 14 hours of wear now, I think it is held up really, really well. There is still some product on my cheek, so there is still a slight contour, not so much a lot of blush, but there is still something there, and there is also still a touch of highlighter, which I didn't put on very heavily today anyway. So, you know, I think for 14-hour wear, there is absolutely no way I can complain about this foundation. I think it has held up really, really well. It still looks really, really nice on my skin. And even just after touching that up now, I would probably get just a little powder puff and just sort of work on my nose a little bit just to sort of move the product and try and even it out a bit, and then I would be ready to go out of the house again. So as I said, and I already have been out in public with my face the way it was when I first appeared on camera, so I think this foundation is really good. It is fairly affordable by Australian drugstore standards, so a lot of foundations are around about the $18 to $20 mark, and I believe this one is a little bit cheaper. I will pop it up somewhere here, how much it actually costs. So I think for the price and the wear, like 14 hours is a really good wear for a drugstore foundation, particularly because I didn't do anything special for it. As you saw in the beginning of the video, I primed my face, I put powder on, and I sprayed it with the setting spray, and that's all. I haven't touched up at all throughout the day. I haven't given it any sort of boost throughout the day, and I've done a lot today. So this foundation was put through its paces, and I think it held up really, really well. But that's it. I don't really think there's much more I can say about this foundation. I think I have sung it a bit of praise. I will continue to wear it, and I will probably do an updated blog post in a few more weeks once I've worn it a little bit more consistently, and just to see how it holds up after a few more days of wear, a few more activities, although I don't know how many more activities in one day I can kind of cram in. But that's it for this video. If you enjoyed it, remember to give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you have not already. I have monthly giveaways going on my blog for subscribers, so check the link down below to make sure you know all about that if you are interested, and you can enter the giveaway. And that's it for this video, and I will see you very soon. Bye!